Hello, Jacob here, Firebrand, Astrology, Tarot and Healing. My dragons say hello to you, my dragons of wisdom. All my tattoos, by the way, have spiritual meanings. So, anyway, I'm a bit late this week because I had a cold at the weekend. So, I want to start off by just kind of saying a little something about spirituality, ascension, and all of this, okay? There is a degree of piosity and ego and one-upmanship still kind of going on, and it's reasonably prevalent within what you would call spiritually awake or aware or conscious people. You know, it's not a competition. It's not a competition to see who can ascend the highest and the fastest, and who can be most spiritually aware, and who can be this and who can be that. You know, we are all on different courses in the University of Life. Some people are doing the foundation course, so the things that are happening to them in their lives are fairly easy. They're not facing huge challenges, things come easily, you know. And there are other people who are doing like advanced, super difficult quantum fucking physics while working 3 jobs and looking after a sick relative, yeah? They have infinitely more issues and things to deal with. And there can be a lot of judgment towards people who are perceived not to be dealing with things in a spiritual manner. Now, it is quite likely these people are actually on a much harder, more difficult, challenging life path than other people are. And if there's something we need to remember, especially now we are very much in Virgo season. You know, we have the Sun, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and the North Node in Virgo. Mercury is in shadow and going to move retrograde in Virgo, so it's going to be in Virgo for quite a period of time. Venus is going to go into Libra at some point in the next few weeks, but not yet. So we're going to have a lot of Virgo energy, which is earth-based, focused on reality, being hypercritical, looking at the details, all of that. That is a very strong Virgoing trait. Yes, it's a sign of the healer, ruled by Chiron in my mind, you know, the sign of the healer, the person that is of service to others, you know, that kind of thing. But the shadow side is hypercritical, over analysing things. Now that is going to be very much prevalent with all of the Virgo energy, which is opposing Chiron, Neptune, and the South Node in Pisces. So, you know, it's going to be opposing what we see as spiritual values and spirituality, Christ consciousness and stuff like that. Very much going on. So what can I say? Sorry, just stretching. Welcome to Virgo season. The Sun went into Virgo yesterday. We have just today, Tuesday's chart. As you can see, we have a T-square in place most of the week between the North Node and Mars and Saturn, which are conjunct in Sagittarius, and Neptune and the South Node, which are conjunct in Pisces at sort of 9, 10, 11, 12 degrees. So if anyone's got anything immutable signs at 9 to 12 degrees, they're going to be really, really feeling it this week. So we have the Moon and in Taurus on Tuesday, supported by the Sun in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn, and all the other Virgo energies have a lot of Earth energy on sort of Tuesday, Wednesday. The feelings want to ground and stuff like that. Maybe look after ourselves a little bit more, that kind of thing. Wednesday's chart. As you can see, lots of red lines, lots of squares, T-squares, a quincunx in place, a few sextiles. We do have, luckily, the North Node supporting Pluto, so, this transformation that we're going through at the moment on a global scale, on an individual scale, on a political scale, is very karmic in origin. It's destined that we go through all of this. The reason why, in some respects, things in the world seem a lot worse is that the reality of our planet is needing to be manifested to really make more people aware and to wake them up to what's going on and to embrace the changes that are needed to happen for us to truly ascend as a planet. And I can't stress this more, and people are not listening. With our current economic system and the corporations as they are at the moment, we cannot ascend as a planet. It's as simple as that. While we're still caught up in money and acquiring wealth and all of that, we cannot ascend. It's as simple as that. We have to create a planet for everybody. And, with this earth energy, for the next few weeks and months, with stuff going through Virgo, the Sun, the nodes, Jupiter, Mercury. Mercury's going to go retrograde at the end of the week. Venus is going to be in Virgo for the next week or so. Jupiter's going to be in for the next 2 weeks. The Sun, the node's going to be there for another 3 or 4 months. There's a lot of energy there, so it really is about waking up and healing and dealing with the reality of the situation, and that opposing, as I said before, the kind of mystical, spiritual, poetic side of things, and trying to work out what is real and what's an illusion. So if you're thinking of politics, what are we being told that is real, and what are we being told that's an illusion, and how that is influencing things that are going on, Thursday, the moon moves into Gemini, so we have a couple of days of the moon in an air sign and us having air energy. So we're going to either want to be chatty about our emotions over the next few days, over Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or we're not going to want to talk about our emotions, and we're going to just want to be chatty and communicate and stuff like that. And the moon will temporarily form a grand cross when it reaches 12 degrees, sort of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 degrees at Gemini on Thursday. Deep joy, a grand cross, youthful grand cross, tension and stuff like that, so we may say or think things that aren't helpful, especially as the moon is going to be opposing Saturn and Mars in Sagittarius, which are all about beliefs and belief systems and stuff like that. Friday, as you can see, yes, lots of more red fucking lines. The moon going to 20 degrees of moon at the last stages of Gemini, preparing to go into Cancer. We have the sun now at 3 degrees of Virgo, beginning to build to a square of the Sagittarius energy. On Saturday we have the moon, Saturday and Sunday we have the moon in Cancer, where it belongs, so we're probably going to be feeling emotionally, want to spend time with our family, wanting to connect to our loved ones and spend time with them, kind of looking at nurturing ourselves, looking at nurturing each other, probably feeling a little bit sensitive to what's been going on. Mercury is almost ready to go retrograde, so it's almost at 29 degrees of Virgo where he's going to go retrograde, so he's going to make it right to the end of Virgo and go, you know what, you fuckers, I'm going all the way back to 13 degrees, So we're going all over this again and reviewing it before we move forward, you know. So Saturday and Sunday we have a grand conjunction of Jupiter, Venus and Mercury all at 27, 26 degrees of Virgo. These are obviously master degrees. These are the degrees of us hopefully mastering the Virgo lesson. So in some respects, you know, one side, the capacity to heal and be of service to others will be expanded, but on another side, we are perhaps going to be over real or over analytical, or the sense of reality will be expanded too much. And, you know, we will have the opposite, we'll still have the kind of sun building to opposing the Pisces energy. So it's really kind of asking us to connect to, you know, Christ consciousness. And the things really won't ease up until we get Jupiter and Venus into Libra, and they will go into Libra quite quickly, quite soon after each other. I don't have the exact date, so see what the gods and Titans say. Okay, so Achilles, confidence. We all know about Achilles and what happened to Achilles. His weakness was his heel, and that was his undoing. You know. Now we've just finished Leo season, and Leos are probably the most confident sign of the zodiac. And really, what it's asking us to do is to take forward what we learned into Leo, into Virgo, to step forward confidently over the next few weeks and months, you know, to deal with this heightened, hyper sense of reality that's going on, you know, and to kind of focus on the details and stuff like that. So we're just going to look at Merlin cards this time. See what the Merlin cards say. Now, I would really kind of appreciate, please, if you shared my video, subscribe to my Facebook page and my YouTube page. If you comment as well, I find that really helpful and useful. I work a full-time job, so I fit this in when I can, you know, to working to earn my crust, so to speak. That's the reality of my situation. Okay, I'll start with the Ten of Wands. Okay, so we've got a Ten of Wands here, which is, as you can see, there's a full moon in the background. We just had this week, well, last week we had the full moon on the Leo Aquarius at 25 degrees. And this is asking us, the full moon is asking us to really leave behind the stuff that is a burden to us. As you can see, he's carrying all those wands, and it looks like hard work. So it's asking us to leave that behind. And what we've been asked to do is to make sure we've dropped stuff that we find burdensome to us. Three of Pentacles. So here we have Earth element, you know, and this is all about kind of, in the tarot card, there's 3 stages. You've got 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9. 10. They're the 3 stages of the tarot, the kind of 3 cycles. So it's saying that we really need to honour the earth cycles, we need to honour the cycles of life, and that we are kind of completing a stage of ascension, really, and moving upwards and moving forwards in our lives. And also, this is really about us consciously creating our own reality and what we want, to be really aware of the reality we've created on the planet, but also in our individual lives. And here we have the Eight of Wands, and this is kind of, as you can see, it's a summer scene. The summer is coming to an end here in the northern hemisphere. We're preparing for autumn, and we've got the Eight of Wands here. Kind of the Eight of Wands is really kind of saying that the project isn't finished yet. It's going well. It's continuing. So it's to remember that we're all work in progress. We're each of us is a work in progress. If you are truly, going back to what I said at the start of the video, if you are truly the perfect spiritual being, you would not be on earth anymore. It's as simple as that. You ascended and up and out. It's as simple as that. So none of us is perfect. None of us is perfectly perfect. We're perfect in our own way, but we're not perfect in the sense of we've dealt with all of our shit and we can handle everything and anything without blinking an eye. It's to remember that we're all works in progress. Thank you.